Good morning, students. I hope you all are fit, fine, you are healthy, and also you are studying well at home. So, in the last chapter, force and pressure. Okay, we studied about the different types of forces, then we studied about the effects of forces, then we came to pressure, and we learned all the details about force and pressure, and hopefully those chapters, those topics were finished. Today we are going to start a new chapter of your physics, and that chapter is chapter 13, sound. What actually sound is? Okay. Sound can be called as a form of energy. Okay. We hear many kind of sounds. We hear sound of different actors and artists on television. We hear the sound of radio. We hear the sound of the music. Okay. Then the sound of the vehicles. Then the sound of humans, animals, etc. We hear a variety of sounds in our surroundings, in our daily life. Then what is sound? For what is sound, then we can say that sound is a form of energy. Yeah. Sound is a form of energy, and the energy which excites our sense of hearing. Okay. It excites our sense of hearing. Whenever a sound arises, okay, see, we have 5 sense organs. Among that, our ears are one of the sense organs. Okay, and when we hear or when we feel sometimes that a particular sound is coming, or some type of sound, maybe a high sound or maybe a low sound, whenever we hear, we get a sensation of alertness. Okay, we get a sensation of alertness, and this sound plays a very important role in our lives. Okay, because what happens is, this is the sound. The sound is the medium by which we can communicate, or by which we can speak, and by which we can understand others, listen to others, and others could listen to us. Okay, so sound is sound is a medium. Yeah, sound is a medium by which we can communicate. So sound is very important in our daily life. Then there are some sounds which are good to hear, okay, like the sound of music, but even then there are some sounds which are not good to hear, like the vehicles noises, the noises that come from the vehicles, horns of vehicles, then like some birds, simply cooking birds like crows. Okay, that sound also irritates us at times. Then the shouting, okay, howling, shouting, talking, so much of talking in a crowd. So all these sounds irritates us. Okay, so we can say that there are different kinds of sounds, the pleasant sounds, the unpleasant sounds. So these categories of sounds, okay, means categorization is done under two headings, two main headings, the pleasant sounds and the unpleasant sounds. Then the question which arises is, how is the sound produced? Means how a particular sound is produced, how we are able to hear it, and what is the funda behind that. That is the question which arises here. Then how do we hear the sound? Then how is one sound different from the other? Okay, because see, there is something fishy between the brain and the ears, because the sounds we hear seems different. Even the two different vehicles will sound differently. So what is the reason behind these sounds to be different from one another? Then how is sound produced? So these are the some questions which are arising in this chapter, which we are going to answer after studying. In this chapter, we will learn about all these things, means how the sound is produced, then what is the ear sensing, okay, of our ears, then all the details about sound we are going to study or deal with in this chapter. So let's start with the first topic. Sounds are produced by vibrations. Now, vibration, you may have heard vibration. When a vibration occurs, okay, vibration is a kind of sound with action or with movement. Means when we hear a sound, okay, or when we hear the loud sounds, the high level sounds, then automatically those sounds result in some type of movement, and the vibration is one of them, okay. For example, when we put in our mobile phones in a vibration mode, okay, and suddenly the phone call comes, what happens? The phone, when vibrates, it moves from its position, okay, it's like dancing, phone is dancing, yeah. So that is known as vibration, a type of sound, okay, a type of sound which also causes the movement of the object causing sound, okay, sound plus, so vibration is a sound plus movement. Then all the sounds which we hear, okay, whether it is a loud one, okay, or whether it is a soft one thing is common there, okay, what is that? They are all produced by vibrations of some kind, yeah, whatever, either it is the loud one, loud music, or it is the soft music, all time one thing that is common is sound will always be produced by some kind of vibration, okay, vibration causes the sound to occur, vibration causes the sound to occur. Then for the definition of vibration, we can say that vibration is the rapid to and fro motion of an object about its mean position. Now, what is the meaning of to and fro motion? To or fro motion means moving in a same direction. Yeah, suppose left to right, again left, right, like a pendulum. Okay, pendulum of a clock also undergoes to and fro motion. Clear? From one side to other, then up again from other to one to other, like that. So that is known as vibration. So vibration is the rapid to and fro motion. It is the rapid means very fast. It will not stop. It will be very fast. So rapid to and fro motion of an object about its mean position. About its mean position means the position in which the object was kept before starting the vibration. Okay, that time its position is known as the mean position. Clear? Then the best example here can be the wall clock, pendulum of a wall clock. It also goes for the, how it goes? To and fro motion. It goes in a to and fro motion. Then the swing, that up and down. Okay, up and down swing. That swing also causes the vibratory motions. See, when the person on the one end goes up, the other one goes down. Then when the other one goes up, then the second one goes down. It is also a kind of to and fro motion. So that is also produced by vibratory motion. Then we can say that all the objects, whichever object produces sound, that sound is a result of some or the other kind of vibration. Yeah. The sound, when an object stops vibrating, when the object will stop vibrating, the sound will also stop. So, the main reason for production of sound is vibration. All sounds are produced by vibration. Let's see this through an activity that how is sound produced. First, what you will do is you will take two nails, iron nails, and you will fix them on a wooden strip. Okay, you will fix them on a wooden strip. Then what will happen? When you put the two nails, there should be distance between them. Okay, at least 25 to centimeter, 20 to 25 centimeter distance should be there. Okay, and then you have to tie those nails very tightly. You have to tie those nails very tightly, and when you will tie the nails very tightly, you will pluck it from the middle. Then you will pluck it from the middle. For example, one more activity you can do is you just take a rubber band. Okay, two of you can take a rubber band. You will just stretch the rubber band, and then you will see that some kind of vibration will be produced when you will pluck it from the between. See, this is how you have to tie the nails from between, and you have to pluck it. Then you will see that it will produce some kind of vibration and the sound. So this proves that vibration only produces sound. Then one more you can take is this rubber. See, when you stretch this rubber and pluck it from between, see. Can you see the vibration? Can you feel it? So this is how the thing is proved that sounds are produced by vibrations. Then one more activity we can do to see the effects of vibration, that when the vibration occurs, what are the effect it causes. So for that, you will take a bowl. Okay, you will take a bowl like this. You will take a bowl, and after taking the bowl, you will pour the water into it. And when you will pour the water into it, now you have to strike it at the edge with a stick. Mostly you can just take a bowl, the steel bowl that is in your home. Okay, don't take the glass one. If it is broken by chance, then your mother is going to beat you nicely. Yeah, so don't try that. Just take the steel bowl, pour the water into it, and when you will pour the water into that steel bowl, what will happen is you will feel the vibration, and the whole water inside the bowl will strike with each other, and they will start moving. Okay, molecules will start moving when you strike it with a spoon or a stick from the outside part. So that is what we can see, that the waves of water. Okay, one proof is the wave of water that is being produced, okay, due to the striking. Then the feeling of vibration, that the bowl is moving. Okay, that two things prove that there is a thing called vibration which produces sound, and vibration is visible to us. Okay, so this activity shows us that yes, sounds are produced by vibrations, and vibrations can be observed. So that is what about this topic. Then we will see one more source by which the sounds can be produced. Next is sounds are produced by musical instruments. Obviously, instruments are played for the purpose that they should produce a particular sound. Okay, and it is a very important part. Then we have a lot of different kinds of instruments, okay, which plays the music, and based on their type of sound they produce, they are divided into three different categories. The first one is the string instrument, second is the wind instrument, and third is the percussion instrument. So these are the three types of musical instruments. So in the string instrument, you will find the string-like things. Okay, whichever musical instrument you find the strings to be played, those are called the string instruments. Okay, example for this can be a guitar, okay, it can be a violin, then it can be a sitar, then it can be a piano. You can see the pictures how it looks. The first one shows a guitar, okay, second one it is a sitar, then violin, then the next one piano. Okay, so these are the string instruments which produce vibration. And next category is wind instruments. Now wind instruments which are being played by our mouth. Why by our mouth? Because when we put those instruments between our lips and when we try to play them, we use our breathing. Okay, we use our breathing. So these are known as the wind instruments. For example, flute, shehnai, then the trumpet. Okay, these are some of the examples of wind instruments. You can see here. First one, flute. Okay, in Hindi it is called bansuri, flute. Then this shehnai, this one. Okay, then this is trumpet. So these are the examples of wind instruments. Okay, and mostly here the part of our body that is used is the mouth to play them. Okay, we use our mouth, and for the string instrument we use fingers. So this also should be known. Then the third very important category, percussion instruments. Okay, percussion instruments means the instruments which are beaten. Okay, the instruments which are beaten or which are struck. Yeah, those are known as the percussion instruments. And for this example could be a tabla. Okay, it could be a drum. Then it could be a gong. Okay, you use drum. Okay, in your PT periods. In your PT periods or your assembly time, you use the drum. Okay, you beat the drum with the handle. So that is a type of percussion instrument. Tabla, drum, all these are the types of percussion instruments. So the three kinds of instruments, and these three kinds of instruments produce different kinds of sound. Okay, all these instruments produce different kinds of sounds. Some produce very high sound, some produce the low sound, but all of them produce the sound differently in different manner. Then also one more important thing here is in all the cases, in all the three instruments, there is the vibration also produced, and that vibration causes the sound to produce. Clear? Then in your book there is an activity given where a person is making a kind of instrument. Okay, a person is making a kind of instrument. Here you can see he has taken the ceramic balls, that white colored ceramic balls. We can also take the metallic balls. Then they are arranged in a manner and then they are filled with water. Different amounts of water. Some are filled completely, some are half filled, some are more than half filled. So like this they are filled. Okay, and then he has taken two sticks and he is just beating. And different types of sounds are being produced whenever he beats the balls. So this type of musical instrument is known as Jal Tarang. Okay, it is known as Jal Tarang. So we can now say that sounds are produced by vibrations and sounds are produced by musical instruments. Now third important category that how our sounds produced is, the third category of sound production is sound is produced by humans. Okay, then how is sound produced by humans? I am speaking, you are listening, you speak, I listen. How it is possible? So students, we are having a voice box in our throat. In our throat area, we are having a particular organ called voice box. Okay, and it is known as larynx. Okay, it is known as, we'll study in the further chapter about the structure of the ear, and there you will come to know what is larynx. So we are having a voice box in our throat that is called larynx, and this larynx also has two vocal cords and they are being stretched from the voice box itself, and from there, and where is this voice box located? Just at the upper end of windpipe. Okay, windpipe which takes the air to the lungs. Now, how the sound is produced? When we inhale air, lungs force the air inside. Then this vocal cords, when come in contact with the air, what they do? They start vibrating. And when they start vibrating, sound is produced and we are able to speak. And there are some muscles which contract and relax for the vocal cords to make it tight or loose. Clear? And because of that muscles, we hear different quality of sound. Women have different sound, men have different sound, then children have different sound. So these different kind of sounds are because of the muscles that is present near the voice box and that make the vocal cords tight and loose. Okay, and that's why we have different frequencies of sound. So these are the three sources by which the sound is produced. Yeah, the first question that arises from the chapter is clear now. First, sound are produced by vibration. Second, sounds produced by musical instrument. Then sounds produced by humans. So this is how the sound is produced. Yeah. Then next topic is how sound travels. Okay. We have seen that how it is produced. Now how it travels from one place to another. Okay. How we can hear the sound. That we are going to study in this topic. Now sound travels in the form of waves. Okay, I'll show you. If you have seen the DJs working or you have seen the music player in your mobile phones, then you may have seen these type of waves. Okay, so sound travels in the form of waves. Okay, these waves are showing the movement of the sound. Now, what is a wave? Wave is a disturbance that carries energy without carrying the material with it. Okay, we are saying wave is a disturbance. Wave is a disturbance, means disturbance which will not take the object with it. But they will just take the energy. Okay. For example, a musical instrument. Okay. So when the sound is produced, okay, we are not taking the instrument from one place to another. Do we take? No. When we play guitar, okay, when we play piano, when we play tabla, we don't take the instrument from one place to another. What we take? We move our hands, make our movements differently so that the different sounds are produced. But for that, we don't have to take the instrument with us. So that is what it is saying, that whenever the wave travels, it does not take the object with it. It just takes the sound energy. Clear? Then, when the sound is produced, okay, The source of this wave is the instrument or the object which is vibrating. If we are playing a guitar, so there guitar is the object which is vibrating and producing the sound. So guitar is the only source from where this waves will arise. Clear? Then this vibrating body, what does it do? Suppose, for example, we are just taking guitar only. So when the vibrating body transfers its energy to the neighboring molecules in the medium. Now neighboring molecules in the medium means, see, in the medium, in the surrounding, there are other human beings. Okay, we have our ears by which we listen to the sound. So that is the second person who is listening, and one is the one who is producing sound. For example, now I am speaking and you are listening. So I am the medium by which the sound is produced, and you are just listening to the sound. Clear? So my body, I am transferring, I am the vibrating body right now, and I am transferring my sound energy to you people. Okay, and the medium of our transfer is a mobile phone or a laptop right now. Okay, that is the transferring medium. Clear? So when we say that vibrating object is transferring its energy, means it is transferring its sound energy to the neighboring molecule or the neighboring person through a medium. Through a medium means if we are talking face to face, then air is the medium that time. Now we are talking through phone or a video conferencing. So in this case, mobile phone or the laptop we are using is the medium for us. Clear? Then we can now say that the sound is propagated in the form of a wave in all the directions. Now, can you say that if a person is speaking from the east direction, then only its opposite side, that is the west direction, people will be able to listen it, or the north and south also? Who will be able to listen? All the directions or only the opposite one? Obviously, all the directions will listen to it. That's why we say that sound is propagated in, or the sound travels in the form of wave in all the directions. In all the directions. For example, when you beat a drum or a tabla, or you play a guitar, what happens? Their membrane, their outer covering start vibrating. Okay, when you play the drum, okay, the persons among you who are playing the drum, okay, when you play the drum, you can just feel the sensation of that vibration when you beat the drum once, and the voice is just coming for a while after beating also. So that is a kind of movement of the sound through a medium, and that is only producing the sound. So this is how it travels. Firstly, when the instrument or when the object is beaten, then what happens? They produce vibration. Vibration produces sound or sound waves. Then these waves carry the sound energy and travel in the air. Okay, they travel in the air, and then they just go, and then we are able to hear it. Yeah. So what happens? The vibrating object will produce the sound, and sound energy will be taken by the waves, and after taking the waves of sound energy, it will move in the air freely, and from there we can hear to what person is speaking or what is going on. That is known as traveling in the form of wave. Clear? So sound travels in the form of waves. Now, when the sound is traveling in the form of wave, it requires a medium. Medium could be a solid, medium could be a liquid, or medium could be a gas. In all the types, in all the terms, the main purpose is that there should be a medium containing particles or containing molecules which will interact and the sound will be produced. So this work is done and then only the sound we could hear. Now, when we talk about the movement of sound in a vacuum. So in vacuum, there will not be any scope of the sound being produced. Why? Because already there are no particles in the vacuum, and if there are no particles, they will not be able to propagate in that medium. Yeah. Then sound is generally the main medium for sound is air. Because see, when you are underwater, suppose you are swimming, a person is swimming, his voice is not so clear and not so audible when he is inside the water. But our voice could be more and more clear when we are on the ground. Clear? So, air is the best medium for the water to propagate. Then, in liquid or solid also it can propagate, but the slowest in. Now regarding the speed of sound. The speed of sound is highest in the solid and lowest in the gases. Yeah, it is the highest in the solid, fastest in the solid. The wave moves fastest in the solid and slowest in gases. Then one activity you can do to see that sound needs a medium to travel. For example, you just take a jar, glass jar, and in that jar you just connect it with a vacuum pump. And you will complete it with a vacuum pump. Then you connect the bell, or you can connect the jar to a battery. Now connect the jar to a battery and listen to the ringing of the bell. Then what will happen? Some days they will work, and then after that, when you have connected the jar with the vacuum pump, then slowly, gradually the air will start to decrease. And when the air starts decreasing, the sound of the electric bell also gets fainter. So this activity shows that sound needs a medium. Either it could be air, either it could be liquid, or it should be a gas. The sound needs a medium, or sound needs a medium to propagate. Clear? Then regarding speed, we have seen that the fastest speed of sound is in solid and the slowest is in gases. Then how the liquids can be a medium for the sound to travel, let's see. For here we will take a tub, then we will fill it with water. After filling it with water, we will take a small bell, okay, a small bell, and shake it inside the water. Anything, that worshipping bell you can take, and you can just shake it in the water. Now you have to make sure that the bell does not touch the sides of the tube. Okay, the bell should not touch the side of the tube. Then when you will do this, you should just quietly put your ears, okay, and then gently you have to listen to the surface of water. Okay, place your ear gently on the surface of the water and then listen carefully. Then what you will find there? You will find out there that the sound of the ringing bell, okay, that bell you were shaking without touching the walls, now you are listening it from the water. You will listen that clear sound of the bell will come. Okay, through liquids. So this proves that liquids are also a good medium for light traveling. Then third activity shows that sound can travel through solids. Now through solids. Solids, what happens? We have to take one stand of a long wooden or metallic table. Okay, we have to take the stand, only stand. Then after that, what we will do? We will place our ear at this time in the end of the table. We will this time. Okay. After just it was sent, that time only we have to cover the teeth and okay, mostly students do this in the class. Just keep your ears on the table and other friend of yours will just scratch or do something with pencil or just make sounds on the table, and that time you can very clearly hear the sound of those things in the table. Then this will show that solids travel in the medium through solids. Okay, solids are also a good medium for the sound to travel, and liquids also, and gases also. Then for example, we can say that the speed of sound in air is very much less than the speed of light in air. Clear? Means when we talk just about air, in that case the speed of sound in air is 332 meter per second, whereas for speed of light it is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Then due to this fact, we always see the lightning much before the thunder. Okay, this is the reason that we see lightning just before the thunder is about to come. Firstly, we see the lightning. Yeah. So this is about how the medium can act, how a solid is a medium, how a liquid is a medium. So this activity shows. I hope you are clear to it right now. Whatever we have studied right now, I hope you all are clear with it. Under traveling of sound, we have seen that first the sound needs a medium for traveling, and then after that medium is attained, after the sound has got the medium, after everything is done, we hear sound through our ears. So like this how the sound is traveling. Okay, from the vibrating object to the it travels to the medium for which it is being propagated. Then after that it goes to the another source, that is our ears, by which we can hear it. So we have learnt already that vibrating objects produce sound. Then we need a medium for that. Now another process which is very important, that is known as hearing. Clear? Our ears are the sense organs which help us to hear the sound. So now we will study about the ear. Ear is divided into three parts: outer ear, middle ear and the inner ear. Human ear is divided into three parts: outer ear, middle ear and the inner ear. These three ears, the three parts together form the basis of the hearing process. Whenever our ear hears some sound from outside, okay, then the outer ear, which is also called pinna, will collect those sounds from outside, okay, and then there is a canal, a pipe-like structure just after the outer ear, the pipe-like structures. This collected sounds will be taken to the ear canal by the outer ear or the pinna. Then when this collected sound goes to ear canal, After ear canal, it is then transported to this canal takes it to the middle ear. Okay, this canal takes it to the middle ear. In this middle ear, there is a structure called eardrum. Okay, eardrum. What this eardrum do? This eardrum will change this sound into vibration. This eardrum will change the sound into vibration. And after it is changed into vibration, it will be now transferred to the inner ear. Okay, the inside most, the innermost one. And after going to the inner ear, the vibration will reach there in the inner ear, and after receiving the vibration, that vibration will be converted to nerve impulse. Nerve impulse. You have studied the structure of nerve cell. Okay, there are the structures, components which help in producing the nerve impulse. Then the messages are being transferred from the brain to all other parts. That is called. Then after that, you go to this vibration is converted into nerve impulse, means it's a kind of information. Okay. Then this nerve impulse is taken by the nerve cells to the brain. And what will happen? After going to the brain, the information will be utilized and the sound which was heard by the outer ear, taken by the outer ear, will be now heard. Okay. All the sense organs work only when they are together with brain. Okay. So here also, after being converted, after being transferred to brain, they will be heard as sound. So like this, the process of hearing completes. Now comes the characteristics of oscillations. Oscillation is nothing but the to and fro motion of an object, like the pendulum of a watch. That motion is known as oscillation. So now what are the characteristics of oscillation? So first characteristic of oscillation is the frequency. Okay, frequency. Frequency is the number of oscillations in 1 second. Means within 1 second, how many times there is the to and fro motion from left to right, right to left, left to right. Like that, how many times, okay, the oscillation has occurred in 1 second. That determines the frequency of oscillation. And it is measured in terms of Hertz, H-E-R-T-Z. It is based on the name of the scientist who discovered it. The short form is Hz. It is measured in that unit. Then it determines the pitch. Pitch means how loud our voice will be or the sound will be. Yeah, that determines the pitch of the sound. Low, high pitch, low pitch, like that. Yeah, so that is the frequency of oscillation. That is the one important characteristic, frequency of oscillation. Then the second comes amplitude. It is the another characteristic of oscillation, that is amplitude. Amplitude is the maximum displacement of object from its mean position. Suppose there was an object. Suppose there was an object at position A and it moved to position B. Okay. So that displacement from A to B will tell us the amplitude of oscillation. Amplitude of oscillation. See, it measures the loudness of the sound, and larger the amplitude means larger the displacement, louder will be the sound. Larger displacement, larger sound. So this is what called the amplitude. Amplitude means the maximum displacement of an object from its mean position. Then the third characteristic of oscillation is the time period, okay, which is abbreviated, or the symbol taken is T, capital T, and it is the time taken to complete one oscillation or one vibration, means one complete oscillation. See, frequency was the number of oscillation in 1 second. Then the time period is the time taken to complete one oscillation, means to complete the one oscillation completely, the time period which was taken, either it is 10 second or it is 20 second or it is 1 minute, that is known as the time period of the oscillation. So these three are the characteristics of oscillation, that is the to and fro motion of the object. Now, after the characteristics of oscillation, now we will go through the characteristics of sound. Clear? See, there are two important characteristics on which the sound is based or the sound has to follow. First is the loudness and second is the pitch. Clear? Many times in our daily life, normally we hear this kind of words, this pitch, loudness. These are specially heard by the singers or the musicians use this kind of words. Okay. So loudness, what is loudness? Loudness depends on the amplitude. As we have seen in the characteristic of oscillation, larger the amplitude, larger the displacement, loud is the sound. As the amplitude will increase, the loudness of the sound will also increase. Clear? And it is expressed in terms of decibel, D-E-C-I-B-E-L, decibel, and short form written is small d and capital B, small d and capital B. Then different sounds have different decibel values, and the decibel value, the sound which is having the decibel value above 90 dB, okay, above 90 dB is painful to ears. You can see this chart here. You can see different sounds are given. See, normal breathing, the loudness of the normal breathing is 10 dB, soft whisper, that is 30 dB, normal talking 60 dB, busy traffic 70 dB, then factory, okay, the factory noise is 80 dB. So more than this, if we hear more than or above 90 dB, when we hear any sound, loud sound, that much high or the loud sound, in that case what happens is it causes irritation to our ears and it could be painful at times. Yeah, so this is about loudness. Then the second important characteristic of sound is pitch. Now what is pitch? Pitch is determined by the frequency. Frequency means number of oscillations in 1 second. So the oscillations in 1 second, okay, as soon as the oscillations occur in 1 second, that will determine the pitch. We can see different kind of pitch. The best example, the women, okay, women's have a the voice of a woman has a higher frequency, okay, voice of a woman has a higher frequency, and that's why their voice is also more shriller, okay, more noise, the pitch is more for the women. Then when we come to man has the low frequency, and that's why their voice is less shriller. Yeah, this is also a vice versa type of thing. More the frequency, more will be the pitch, higher will be the pitch, okay, and lesser the pitch, then less will be the pitch. Yeah. So it depends upon the frequency. If frequency is more, pitch will be high. If frequency is less, then the pitch will also be less. So this is about pitch. Then now comes the audible sound and the inaudible sound. See, the meaning of audible is which could be heard, which is easily hearable. That is known as audible, and which is the sounds which we are not able to hear properly, they are known as inaudible sounds. Now see, we have already known that the sound is produced by a vibrating body. The body which vibrates produces the sound. But, okay, all the vibrating bodies do not produce sound when we hear. Okay, all the vibrating bodies does not produce sound, only few. Then, for example, a healthy young person can hear all the sound frequencies in the range from a healthy person who is not deaf and whose ears are almost alright. He can hear all the sounds coming in the range between 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Those sounds coming in this range are known as audible sounds. Then just opposite, so there are some sounds which are having frequency less than 20 hertz and more than 20,000 hertz. Those are the sounds which cannot be detected by the human ear, and they are termed as inaudible sounds. So I hope you are clear with audible sound and inaudible sound. Clear? Then again, the inaudible sounds are categorized into two parts. Okay? The sounds which are below 20 hertz are called as infrasonic sounds. Then the sounds which are above 20,000 hertz, they are called the ultrasonic sounds. Infrasonic sounds can be heard by, can be of the earthquake, the sounds of earthquakes, then the whales, largest aquatic animal, whales. Okay, though they are having the capacity of hearing these sounds lower than 20 hertz. Then ultrasonic sounds, the animals like bats, the animals like dog, they are able to hear the ultrasonic sounds. Their frequency is above 20,000 hertz. So this is about audible and inaudible sounds. Now we'll see noise and music. So students, what could be the difference between the noise and the music? Which one is pleasant to hear? Either noise or the music? Obviously, music is the pleasant one which we like to hear, and noise is the unpleasant one which we don't like to hear, which irritates us. You can see the two diagrams here. The first one, the clear waves, that is for, sorry, it's by mistake. Okay, the first one, the clear one, clean one, that is the waveform of a music. And the second one, the downside, which we can see, and it is not clear, simply moving here and there in a zigzag manner, that is the waveform of a noise. See, the pleasant sound which we like to hear, which gives us a very pleasant mood, and we are not facing any difficulty with that sound, those type of sounds are called music. Clear? Then, and the wave we get with music is a very regular patterned wave, regularly patterned waves. Okay, all the musical instruments will give this type of waves only. Then when we talk about the unpleasant sound, okay, which is producing a irritating effect to us, okay, and we don't like to hear it, the vibrations and the waves produced by noise is irregular formed. Okay, they see in the second diagram, irregularly formed ones. See, you can see irregularly formed ones, and the first one is the regularly formed ones, and the second one is the irregular formation. So this is the difference between a noise and a music. In the category of noise, we can take the horns. Okay, horns of buses, trucks, all these are very noisy. Okay, the market area, the sound of the market area. Then under music, we can take the example of all the type of musics, the musical instruments, sitar, tabla, guitar, etc. Okay, so this is noise and music. The main difference you should know about noise and music is the type of wave structure. And one more thing, the music can also become a noise at times. Clear? How? When the music is too loud, okay, and causing irritation to the ears. In that case, that type of music which is very loud is also termed under the category of a noise. Clear? Then the last topic which we are going to cover is noise pollution. Now you very well know that what is noise. The unpleasant sound is called noise. Clear? The unpleasant sound is called noise. Now what is noise pollution? We have heard about many types of pollution: air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution. Now there comes noise pollution. See, pollution is a term which is given to something unusual. Okay? When the things which are not needed, the unwanted things, when mixed, then they are termed as pollution. So in the same way, the unpleasant sounds, okay, the unpleasant sounds which are called noises, when these noises become so annoying, okay, it becomes so annoying that it is causing the harm to our ears, to the environment. In that case, they are termed as noise pollution. Okay, the best example nowadays we can see so many lot of bikes, scooties, cars, trucks, buses, everything moving around in the traffic road, and that sound is causing so much harm to the living organisms on the earth. Not only the human beings but also the other living beings like the other organisms, animals, birds, etc. Okay, so that type of unpleasant noises, they are termed as noise pollution. Clear? When these unpleasant noises, unpleasant sound makes harm to the environment, then they are termed as noise pollution. Clear? Now we'll see what are the sources. Some of the sources of noise pollution could be the aircraft. How aircraft means when the aircrafts are flying high in the sky, they produce some noise, okay, sound, unpleasant sound that is being troubled. Okay, that is a kind of trouble for the organisms which are living there, means different birds. Okay, they are facing problem, and somehow the environment is being getting polluted by those sounds. Okay, means environment is getting some kind of harm. If living organisms are getting harm, means environment is getting harm. So that's why aircrafts are the sources. Then motor vehicles, the horns of the vehicles and the traffic signals. Okay, all these things can cause the noise pollution. Then explosion. We burst crackers on Diwali. Then some bomb blast or some fire burstings occur. All this causes explosions, and these explosions are the source of noise pollution. Then machines. We use many kind of machines in our homes. Okay, for domestic purposes, not only in the homes, in industries and everywhere else. We use mixer grinder at home. Imagine how unpleasant its sound is. So like that, many other machines are there which are having unpleasant sound, and they are the sources of noise pollution. Then loudspeakers, the DJ nights, the parties, all these things, they use the loudspeakers. Then especially during elections, the parties go for different methods for promoting their parties, and that the use of loudspeakers are very frequent, so that can cause noise pollution. Then the loud music, yeah, all these are the sources of noise pollution. Now some harmful effects of noise pollution. See, when we are constantly in exposure to noise, okay, above 90 dB or 95 dB, what happens? We are supposed to have tiredness. When we just come from the market, from a very noisy place, what is our condition? We have a kind of headache, okay, then we have tiredness, then we feel like something irritating, okay. All these are the symptoms of noise pollution, and it can gradually cause our hearing loss. Clear? Then second is rupture of eardrums. When we come to the exposure of loud noise, our eardrums may rupture, and if the eardrums ruptured, means permanent hearing loss. We will not be able to hear permanently. Then Third, high BP, blood pressure or nervousness. Okay, some persons who are having high BP problem, okay, whose blood pressures are so high, those persons, especially when they come in contact with the high or the loud noises, their BP level increases suddenly, nervousness can be caused, and it can even lead to many other disorders and health issues. Okay, then loud music also not allows us to have a good sleep, and because of lack of sleep, again we will be tired, we will have nervousness and all those things. Then next one, health disorders. Okay, all the health disorders like BP problem, rupture of eardrums, nausea, headache, loss of hearing, permanent hearing, all these are the health disorders coming together, we can say health disorders. Then damage hearing of marine animals. Okay, we do many processes like oil drilling, petroleum drilling, and many other processes we do, and that also cause enough amount of noise pollution, especially inside the sea. Okay, then what happens there, also the organisms living in that area may have damage of their hearing capacity. Yeah, so these are some harmful effects of noise pollution. You may find out more. It's not compulsory that you have to just study only this much. If you get more, then well and good. Then now some measures to control noise pollution. Yeah, some of the measures are like silencers could be used in aircrafts and machines. Okay, silencer is a part of the machine that lowers the sound. Okay, even in the revolvers or in the guns also silencers are used, and this can reduce the noise. So for aircrafts and machines, silencers should be added. Then tree-lined buffer zones for busy roads means wherever the road is very busy, there the trees should be planted so that the noise should not get a proper medium for propagating, and the noise will not cause noise pollution. Then sound insulating materials can be used. That could be a carpet, that can be a curtain, or the windows. All these are the sound insulating materials which lower the sound. Then loudspeaker usage should be controlled, means late night parties should not be done, loudspeaker should be used less, all these things. Then drivers, the truck drivers, the aircraft drivers, or the other persons, they should use the ear protectors so that they are not directly exposed to the noise. Okay, then the horns, use of the horns should be reduced. If there will not be so much of traffic, if you will follow the traffic rules properly, the horns will not be so much needed. So usage of horns should be minimized, and it should be used only when very much required. Okay, then we should listen to the music, or we should watch TV at a very low volume, should not go for high volumes. So these are some measures by which we can control the noise pollution to harm our environment. Okay, now one more topic, last topic of this chapter, that is hearing impairment. Okay, hearing impairment is a kind of unusual kind of hearing in which we are not able to hear the sounds properly. It could be a partial one or it could be a total one. Partial one is mostly seen in the aged persons, those who are of more than 50 to 60 years of age. Gradually with the age, the hearing sensation lags behind. Okay, then due to some injury, it could be like we have studied rupture of eardrums or something. In that case, there could be partial hearing impairment. Then there could be a hearing disease or something. Then all these are the partial hearing impairments. Then about total hearing impairment, it could be by birth in children's. Okay, it is very rare, but mostly. And if a child is having hearing problem, then it is a commonly generated fact that he is having some kind of defective speech also. Means a person who is deaf, okay, he is not able to speak even. Okay, so both these are connected to each other, and those children use, those who are having total hearing impairment, they are using sign language to communicate their words. So that's all about hearing impairment, means difficulty in hearing. So finally, this chapter is complete. If you have any doubt in this chapter, in any of the point, in any of the topic, then you can ask me and clear it.
Chapter 13. Sound. Introduction. The sensation felt by our ears is called sound. Sound is that form of energy which makes us hear. Each sound is special to the object which produces it. For example, the ticking of a clock, the click of an electric switch, and the whir means sound of rotation of a ceiling fan are the characteristic sounds produced by a clock, an electric switch, and a ceiling fan respectively. Sound plays an important role in our daily life. It helps us to communicate or talk with others. Sound is produced by vibrating objects. Sound is produced when an object vibrates or moves to and fro rapidly. In other words, sound is produced by vibrating objects. Let us see some examples. Stretch a rubber band and tie it tightly between two nails fixed on a table. In this position, the rubber band is not vibrating and hence not producing any sound. Let us pluck the stretched rubber band in the middle with our finger. The rubber band starts vibrating and produces sound. We can also see the vibrations of the stretched rubber band. The rubber band vibrates or moves backwards and forwards rapidly between the positions A and B. Now, if we hold the vibrating rubber band tightly with our hand, the rubber band stops vibrating and the sound being produced by it also stops. Propagation of sound. Sound is produced by the vibrations of an object. When an object vibrates back and forth in air, then the molecules of air close to this object also start vibrating back and forth with the same frequency. These vibrating air molecules pass on their motion to the next layer of air molecules, due to which they also start vibrating back and forth. This process goes on and on. Ultimately, all the air molecules around the sound-producing object start vibrating back and forth, just like the vibrating object. When the vibrating air molecules fall on our ears, the ears feel these vibrations as sound, and we say that a sound wave travels from the sound-producing object to our ears through the air. Sound produced by humans. The human beings produce sound by using the voice box, which is called larynx. Voice box or larynx is situated in our throat at the top of the windpipe or trachea. The human voice box or larynx contains two ligaments known as vocal cords. The vocal cords are a kind of strings. Sound is produced by the vibrations of vocal cords. The vocal cords are attached to muscles which change the tension or stretching in the cords and the distance between the cords. 1. Normally, the muscles of the vocal cords are completely relaxed, due to which the vocal cords are separated and loose so that air from the lungs passes through them without producing any sound. Thus, when we are not talking or singing, the two vocal cords are far apart with a lot of gap between them. 2. When we want to speak, the muscles of the vocal cords contract, due to which the two vocal cords become stretched and come close together, leaving only a narrow slit between them. The lungs pass a current of air between the two vocal cords. This air makes the vocal cords vibrate and the vocal cords produce sound. Thus, when we talk or sing or make any other sound, we actually make our vocal cords vibrate, and vibrations of vocal cords by expelled air produce vocal sounds. Sound needs a medium for propagation. The substance through which sound travels is called a medium, and transmission of sound is called propagation of sound. So, when we say sound needs a medium for propagation, we mean that sound needs a solid, liquid, or gas for transmission, but it cannot travel through vacuum or empty space. Sound cannot travel through vacuum because vacuum has no molecules which can vibrate and carry sound waves. The case of moon or outer space. The moon has no air or atmosphere at all. It is all vacuum or empty space on the surface of moon. Sound cannot be heard on the surface of the moon because there is no air on the moon to carry the sound waves or sound vibrations. The astronauts who land on the moon or walk in outer space talk to each other through wireless sets using radio waves. Speed of sound. The speed of sound depends on the nature of medium or material through which it travels. In general, sound travels slowest in gases, faster in liquids, and fastest in solids. Sound travels slower than light. The speed of sound in air is about 340 meters per second, and the speed of light is equal to 300 million meters per second. This means that sound travels at a slow speed, but light travels much faster than sound. You might have been observed that in the rainy season, the flash of lightning is seen first and the sound of thunder is heard a little later, though both are produced at the same time in clouds.
So let's recall what we studied in this chapter. First, we studied how sound is produced. Under that, we studied sound is produced by vibrations, sound is produced by musical instruments, and sound is produced by humans. Okay. Then we studied there is a voice box, then vocal cords are being attached. Then we studied how sound travels. Okay. Under that, we came to know that sound needs a medium for traveling, and the sound is heard by the human ears. Then we studied the structure of human ear, which is having three parts: inner, middle, and outer. Okay. The sound is first heard by the outer ear. Then from the outer ear, it goes to the middle ear through the ear canal. Then from there, it reaches the eardrum. Then that eardrum again makes it as a vibration, converts the sound to vibration. That vibration is taken to the inner ear. Inner ear converts it into the nerve impulse, and that nerve impulse is then transmitted to the brain, and then we hear the sound. Then we studied the characteristics of oscillation. Under that, we study the frequency of oscillation, which is the SI unit of it is Hertz, Hertz, written as Hz. Then we studied that number of oscillations or vibrations by an object in 1 second is known as the frequency of oscillation. Second characteristic was amplitude, means the maximum displacement of the object from its mean position. Then the time period. The third characteristic of oscillation was time period, means time taken to cover one complete oscillation or one complete vibration. Then we studied the relation between T and F. There itself we studied T and F. So T is equals to 1 upon F, indirectly proportional to F. Time period is indirectly proportional to F. Then we studied characteristics of sound. Under characteristics of sound, we studied two characteristics. One is loudness, which is depending upon the amplitude of vibration, and it is measured or expressed in terms of decibel, dB. Okay, and we came to know that above 90 dB sound is painful to the ears. Then the second characteristic was pitch. Then we studied that frequency determines the pitch, and more the frequency, higher is the pitch, and less the frequency, less is the pitch. Then we studied audible and inaudible sounds. The sound coming under the range between 20 Hertz to 20,000 Hertz is the audible sound, and which is coming under below 20 Hertz and above 20,000 Hertz are the inaudible sounds. They are being categorized. Below 20 Hertz are called infrasonic and above 20,000 are called ultrasonic. Then we studied noise and music. Okay, then we studied the wave structure. That noise is a unpleasant sound which is having a irregular pattern of waves. Music is a pleasant sound which is having regular pattern of waves. Then we studied noise pollution. What is noise pollution? Then what are the sources? Then what are the harmful effects? Then what are the measures to control? And at last we studied hearing impairment. So with this chapter is complete. Then after completing this chapter, your homework is all the exercise questions given in the back of your chapter. Fill up, match the following, then multiple choice, very short, all the things you have to do in your notebook and you have to show me. Clear? And the work should be done as soon as possible because your exams are near and then you will not get time. So you should complete it as soon as you can. Yeah? And if you have any doubt regarding any topic, then you can let me know. With this, thank you. Have a good day.